And believe it or not, we actually have a spokesperson that has confirmed that Germany has a little detention camp here that they're set to put COVID rule breakers in. And they say that if someone repeatedly fails to properly follow the rules, they could spend some time at this location in Dresden. And they're saying in order to increase compliance, violators are told that they're going to receive a warning. Then after that warning, they're going to get a fine. And then after that, if they violate, the court will decide if they should be punished with a stint at this camp. Now, the spokesperson says here, we don't assume that there's going to be very many people, but in the event that a court decides that way, there will be a facility to accommodate them. So, the bottom line here is we are talking about camps for dissidents in Germany. Where have we heard this before? And one can only wonder how well this would work out. Now, we heard in Canada, they had mentioned trying to do something like this, and in New Zealand, they've done just that. They have facilities just like this that they would hold people at. So, just to look at what's happening in modern day Germany here. I'm going to give my extended thoughts on this in the next live stream, so make sure to join us. Going live Monday, Wednesday.
Alright, Shalom. Call law, Yahweh Shem Shai. Double honors to my teachers, the men that I learned this truth from. Start with the apostles and elders and all the men on down of Great Millstone. Yahweh Shem Shai Barakatham to the sincere Akim and Akwathium that believe in the sincerity and in the truth. Alright. And just basically wanted to do this quick video because I mentioned this in another video and I wasn't so sure about it concerning this the detention center that they're opening up in Germany because like I said, I wasn't so sure about it. I had just heard about it. I didn't really look into it or anything, but apparently, it looks like they're this is a thing that they're planning to do. And like he mentioned in the video, they talked about this in some places like Canada and New Zealand, where they were talking about these camps. All right. And this is just another one of those things out there in Germany, all right, for people that basically with the whole C19 virus, people that don't follow after the orders or whatever, the constant rule breakers or whatnot. All right, they're gonna throw them in these centers, all right, until they are deemed fit to be released or whatever. All right, and this is what's been talked about. All right, again, start with the apostles and elders, man, and all the men on down for years, man. Because you still got people that think that this is a far-fetched idea and conspiracy theory. People thinking that this is crazy talk, but nevertheless, because like it's been brought out a lot lately concerning Revelations, where it talks about being faithful even unto death, because some people are going to be thrown into prison. All right, they're going to be tried 10 days, as the scriptures say, which is just a complete amount of time, a certain time period where your faith is going to be tested. All right, because again, just using an example, because like I said, people that are they're going to be thrown in these detention camps until they are pretty much deemed fit to be released. All right, and that can include people who refuse to take the vaccine. All right, they can hold you in one of these camps until you agree finally to get down with the program and get the max. All right. So let's say they hold you in one of these camps for, let's just say 14 days, right? And come the 14 days, if you still refuse to take the vaccine, right? And this is after it's all been said and done. This is after it's you've been given the warning and you've been given a fine, so on and so forth. The court deems you, because this is what they're talking about out there in Germany. All right. So let's just say you go through the whole process, and eventually it gets taken up to the courts or whatnot, because that's what the scriptures talk about. It talks about being brought before like the governors and senators and things of that nature. All right, but more so that's concerning the persecution and whatnot. All right, but nevertheless, and also because this is going on again, this is what they're talking about out there in Germany. All right, now once it comes here in America, and best believe it will come here to America, because America is divided into 10 FEMA zones. All right, and it's said that there's over 800 of these camps or whatnot spread throughout America. All right, so best believe, man, this is coming here to America, and like I said, they already got this set up in other places like New Zealand and Canada. All right, so the time will come where little by little, slowly but surely, they're you're gonna start hearing more about these camps. All right, more and more is going to become more of a in the talks and brought to the light more and more. Probably put this more so on the mainstream media and things of that nature. All right, gradualism. Like the elder brothers always talk about gradualism. All right, they got to build you up, because if they just, like with the mark of the beast, if they just come out and if they just come out full blown with it, for the most part, a lot of people aren't going to be down with the program. So they got to build you up. They got to basically butter you up, because objectively the goal is to get you down with the program willingly. All right, like with these camps. All right, because being that they got a lot of and this is another one of those things that they're not really putting out there on the mainstream media, but they're concerning the famine. All right, you got a lot of places with the food banks. All right, and even with that, because some of these food banks, they're running out of food. They don't have enough supplies and whatnot. All right, because it's prophesied a famine is a famine is prophesied to come. When it gets to a point where it's really bad, all right, and, they might tell you to come on down to one of these if you're hungry, come on down to one of these camps. They'll feed you, shelter you, and things of that nature, and that's where they're going to get you. All right, because like I said in the previous video, man, Jake is getting set up for Esau setting the trap. He's setting the snare for Jake. A lot of Jake is about to get set up. All right, Biden, if he gets inaugurated, if he gets in office, all right, he's been talking about the first 100 days that he wants to get into office. He's going to mandate the mask mandate, and things of that nature. He's going to open up, pharmacies and community centers for, more so blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, as he said. All right, these are his words. Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians are basically the top priority to get vaccinated. All right, so they're going to, work with pharmacies and Walmarts, all right, community centers and things of that nature for Jake to get vaccinated. Because, like I said, the Esau setting the snare. All right, so best believe, man, more and more you're gonna hear about these camps here in America. All right, little by little, you're gonna start to hear about these things. Because for one, like I said, they're already here. All right, So, and like I said, because this is, being that this may seem like a far-fetched idea, concentration camps, FEMA camps, detention centers and whatnot, re-education camps, all right? It may seem like a far-fetched idea, but nevertheless, man, this is what the scriptures talk about. So, feel that I've rambled enough. Go ahead and get into a few precepts. And I got this one here in Amos because it's beautiful how it ties into what's going on right now with a lot of these whorish women, all right, these harlots, because being that a lot of these women, man, there are a lot of these women, man, they're in for some heavy judgments, all right, and being that with everything that's going on, man, a lot of these women, they're losing their jobs or whatnot, and basically finding themselves without that hedge of protection, all right, and being that they're a lot of these women are out here, what do you call it? What's the word? Basically flaunting their bodies and whatnot, all right, because a lot of these UN troops, man, all right, because like I said before, man, America is going to get invaded by foreign troops, all right, and being that a lot of them are already here in disguise, all right, they're watching, and they're sitting back waiting, man, because a lot of you women, man, a lot of these women are gonna be open targets, and especially once they start throwing people into these camps, man. A lot of women, like what's going on down there in South America, all right, a lot of the northern tribes, because the northern tribes down there in South America, man, a lot of them for the most part, man, they've pretty much already been in Jacob's trouble, all right. They've already been experiencing and catching hell. And some of the reports that have been coming out, a lot of women have been getting raped. I did a video on that a couple of months ago, because when it's all said and done, man, that's going to be a normal thing. When it's all said and done, women getting raped, like the scriptures talk about women getting ravished, that's going to be a normal thing. That's going to be common. That's nothing. That's going to be nothing. But let me get this, because like I said, it's beautiful how it's all tying in, because like I said, being that they got this new challenge. I don't even know the name of the challenge that these women what they're doing right now, but basically, man, like I said, flaunting their bodies and whatnot, just being proud and open whores, So being that these things are taking place, and a lot of these UN troops are already here in disguise and whatnot. They're just waiting on the green light and whatnot. All right, let me get this in Amos 7:17. It says, "Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, thy wife shall be an harlot in the city." All right, and like I said, that's pretty much what you see going on all throughout here in America. All right, these women, because the word wife, it just goes back to women, a woman, right? These women, they're nothing but whores, man. Got the thing with the OnlyFans and whatnot. All right, it says, "And thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword, and thy land shall be divided by lying, and thou shalt die in a polluted land." All right, and this whole land of America is it's polluted, it's corrupted, it's defiled. All right, talking about this landmass of America. All right, this whole place is polluted. All right, like it read up, like it said earlier. Like the verse said, being that these women being acting like whores in the city, man, the streets and whatnot. All right, they're proud whores. All right, and that's part of this whole land being polluted. All right. It says, thou shalt die in a polluted land, and Israel shall surely go into captivity forth of his land. So you see, again, because being with these FEMA camps, man, all right, a lot of Jake's going to get, like it talks about a second Exodus 16 chapter, which I'll probably get, but it talks about, well, I'll just go ahead and get it, but nevertheless, finishing up here, all right, again, it says, "And Israel shall surely go into captivity forth in his land," all right, and again, being that, with these FEMA camps, all right, you know, people that refuse to basically obey orders and basically commit suicide, man. Because if you take that vaccine, man, that's basically what you're doing, man. You're committing suicide, man. All right, you know, with all the information that's come out concerning these, you know, what's in these vaccines, all right, all the abominations, man. All right, you're gonna end up. It's basically, man, you're signing a death warrant, man. Basically, all right. And again, you know, because you know, the time is going to come where if you refuse to take the vaccine, man, you're just being a nuisance and you know, just disobeying these you know, this whole Novid orders and whatnot. You know, all these orders concerning Novid, right? You know, I mean, you're going to be thrown in one of these camps. All right. Again, you know, like I said here, all right, you be put in captivity. All right, going to get locked up, like, you know, like I mentioned earlier with Revelations. All right, which I'll probably get that too, because I feel that I'm butchering it a little bit, but I'll probably get that as well. But let me get this in Isaiah 5, and this isn't the point, but I'll go ahead and start here and read on down. Isaiah 5, starting at verse 5, it says, "And now go. 2, I will tell you what I will do to my vineyard. I will take away the hedge thereof, and it shall be eaten up, and break down the wall thereof, and it shall be trodden down." All right, and basically, all right, you know, Yahweh Shem Shai is about to give, like it talks about in Ezekiel 21, you know, the sword is being furbished, and you know, it's being furbished, and basically the Lord is about to give the sword to the handler so he can you know, execute judgment. All right, you know, the Lord is about to give Esau the green light to do a lot of killing, and even more so with you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and American Indians, you Jakes. All right, it says verse 6, it says, "And I will lay it waste, it shall not be pruned nor digged, but there shall come up briars and thorns. I will also command the clouds that they rain, no rain upon it." All right. Just look for trying to get to the point. Because it talks about the same thing, basically concerning the captivity. All right. Jake is going to be, a lot of Jakes are going to get thrown in a lot of these concentration camps. I think this is at verse 13. It says, "Therefore my people are gone into captivity, because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst." And I believe that word famished is going into hunger, starvation. All right, because again, you know, getting thrown into these concentration camps, man, you know, like the example I used earlier, you know, with the 14 days. Let's say you know, you get locked up in there for 14 days or whatnot. All right, if you refuse to you know, take the vaccine, you know, they can hold you in there another 14 days, you know. So another 2 weeks, right, goes by, you know, and you know, as time goes by, because, you know, again, you know, the more you refuse, the more you reject to get down with the program, you know, the more difficult they can make it for you to survive and whatnot. All right, because, you know, as time goes by, the more the weeks go by, you know, they can start, you know, cutting and rationalizing your food supply. All right, basically starve you out or whatnot. All right, because, you know, the scriptures talk about how starvation, man, that's a horrible way to go. You know, starvation is a horrible way to go out, man. You know, but nevertheless, man, this is just, you know, some of the things that are going to be going down in some of these concentration camps. All right, you know, starving Jake out to you know, get them to willingly you know, get down with the program or whatnot. All right, but nevertheless, man, you know, this is, you know, some of the stuff that they're going to be you know, this is some of the stuff that's going to be going down. All right, that spirit of Antiochus, which, if you know about Antiochus, that's spoken about in the Maccabees. All right, you know, there's some of the torture tactics that he used to, you know, the hell that he put on Jake. All right, that spirit is back today. You know, a lot of that stuff is going to go down in these concentration camps. All right. You know, a lot of times, you know, when I think about these detention centers or whatnot, you know, I think about the movie Hostel. You know, if you haven't seen that movie, now I'll probably get into watching those movies again. I've been getting in the habit of watching a lot of these old movies because, you know, more and more, man, they're becoming relevant. You know, like I just finished watching all the Purge movies. All right. You know, because again, you know, being that a real life purgement is getting ready to take place here in America. You know. So, you know, I've just been getting in the habit of watching a lot of these old movies, you know, these, you know, a lot of these movies, you know, you know, you can get a lot of, you can get somewhat of an insight of what's going to take place. So I plan on, you know, watching that series, the movie series with the Hostel series, right? Which again, you know, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, goes into these Americans out there in Russia or whatnot. All right. But basically, man, them getting fucked up, man, and getting tortured and whatnot. All right. And again, you know, because that's what's going to be taking place. A lot of that's going to be taking place. That spirit of Antiochus is back today, and a lot of that's going to be, you know, the torture tactics and whatnot. That's going to be taking place here in America, and even more so in these concentration camps. All right. Yeah, that was it on that. So because like I said, I felt that I butchered this enough, so I'll go ahead and get it. Revelations 2. Because again, man, this is you know, this is more and more you know, you can see how you know, this ties into what the scripture says. Like here, Revelations 2:10, it says, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer." Why? Because again, you know, like I mentioned, you know, a lot of us, man, some of us, you know, could possibly be thrown in some of these concentration camps. All right. You know, but, you know, not to fear, man, because the spirit and the power of Yahweh Shemel Shaman is going to be on us. You know, Lord's will, we're of the elect. You know, to endure whatever it is that, you know, we got to endure, whatever we got to suffer, man. You know, it says, "Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison." So you see, there's concentration camps. All right. It says that ye may be tried, and you shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Yeah, because, you know, it's written that some of the elect are going to be martyred. Some of them are going to be, you know, killed. All right. You know, some of the elect are going to be thrown into some of these concentration camps. All right. You know, like I said, you know, that, I mean, they can then, you know, use all type of tactics to, you know, basically get you to submit, man. Like starvation, like example I used earlier. Starvation, they're gonna be starving a lot of jakes out. All right, you know, they're gonna be doing all type of torture tactics, man, and you know, all type of psychological torture, physical, mental torture, all type of stuff, man. All right, you know, because like I says here, man, this devil, man, you know, that's exactly what he is. He's a devil. He's a demon. You know, they're all demons. All right. But nevertheless, man, you know, it's prophesied again, you know, you know, concentration camps, man, these concentration camps, these FEMA camps, you know, whatever you want to call them, these detention centers. All right. It's a very real thing. And very soon, man, you know, you're going to start hearing about them more and more here in America. But, let me go ahead and get this, and I'll end it out. 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter. Second Ezra 16, starting at verse 68, it says, "For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you being idle with things offered unto idols." And ultimately, you know, the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast spoken about in Revelation 13. All right. And again, you know, because it's like it's been said before, concerning this with the whole vaccine. All right. You know, it's a prelude to what's going to be going on when they start rolling out with these chips. All right. With, you know, with the mark, all this stuff is a prelude to it, man. All right. Because again, you know, they've been talks about rounding up anti-maxers. All right. People that speak against the vaccines, basically going to be like a public enemy. All right. Enemy to society or whatnot. All right. Domestic terrorist. All right. So and the time is gonna come, man, where you're gonna have a military knocking on your door, man, or even kicking in your door, you know, to see, if your household, anyone got the vaccine or whatnot, hauling people off to these concentration camps, man. Where it says they shall take away certain of you, you know. It says, verse 69, it says, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision, and in reproach and trodden underfoot. Yet, because a lot of people are going to fold. Here it is, for the most part, man. A lot of people are, they talk a good game about how they're not going to take the vaccine. All right. But again, so all said and done, man. It's easy to talk the talk now when our backs aren't against the wall. And we're not strapped down, to a chair or whatnot, being electrocuted, being shocked or whatnot. All right, it's easier said than done now, man. When it's not really hitting us, it's not really in our face yet. It's easier said than done now. But when that time comes, best believe, man, a lot of people, man, out of fear, out of fear of the so-called white man, and not fear of Yahweh Shem Shad, a lot of people are going to end up folding, man, and a lot of people are going to end up, giving into it. All right. In those concentration camps, man, a lot of death is going to be taking place in these concentration camps, believe it or not. It says, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. So you see, man, all right, they're not going to give two damns in the world. The spirit that's going to be on these people, man, the spirit that's going to be on these troops, all right, it's not going to be like something that you've seen before. All right, they're going to be like mindless robots out here. No mercy, show no mercy, no nothing. All right. I'll go ahead and read this. It says, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. So again, because in some places, man, they are people that is, speak up against the vaccine, and in some of these countries, people that are speaking up against the vaccine and other stuff, they're getting visits by the local authorities and whatnot, and some of the people are getting arrested or whatnot, and taken to jail and whatnot, getting locked up or whatnot. All right, like I said, man, that stuff is going to start happening here sooner or later. That's why you got to be careful how you move. Who you speak to, the company that you keep around. All right, they're going to be hiring basically they're going to be hiring snitches and lookouts and whatnot. All right. People that snitch and whatnot. All right. Because the scriptures talk about how it talks about the spirit of discernment. Got to be wise, and especially in the times that we're coming in, man. Got to be careful how you speak. What you talk about. All right. Because you got a lot of Israelites, man. They basically flaunt the fact that they're Israelites. They wear the shirt with the t-shirts with the fringes everywhere they go. Right. That's just not the look that you want to have. That's you don't want to put yourself in a spotlight and make yourself a walking target. Being that their plans are to demonize the Hebrew Israelites. You don't want to make yourself a walking target. All right, that's where it said there in verse 70. It says, "For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord." So they're coming after they're coming after the Israelites. All right, and like I said, you don't want to make yourself a walking target. So this is why it's important, man. Everywhere you go, you just walking in circumspect. Just being mindful of your surroundings. Even the conversations that you have with individuals. You just want to be careful, man. Because they're coming after the Israelites, man. That's the number one target. But yeah, man, this is what's gearing up, man. Believe it or not, man, these concentration camps, you're gonna start hearing about them more and more. And even more so here in America, man. They're coming here to America, or they're already here, all right. But now they just got to get it to where because again, with all the information that's coming out, man, a lot of people are afraid, man. A lot of people are seeking answers or whatnot, seeking the truth and whatnot. And they got to do a lot of damage control. So it's a thing of basically countering the truth with their witchcraft, man. And reassuring the people in wickedness. But nevertheless, man, because like I said, concerning, because I mentioned this in a previous video, I wasn't quite sure about it, but sure enough, they do got something out there going on in Germany. I believe they said it was a jail, if I'm not mistaken, or a prison or something. All right, I'm still looking into it. I might do another video on that. I don't know, but yeah, just basically doing a follow up on, what I brought out or what I mentioned before, concerning this detention center that they got going on out there in Germany. So hopefully this was edifying. Once again, I'm gonna give all credit to Yahweh Shemel Shai, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And until next time, Lord's will, I say shalom.